Hey, this is Josh with a new review, coming at you with a new review of the new-ish Kiefer Sutherland series, the Designated Survivor. So last season it focused more on like an internal political struggle between President Kirkman and reactionary fascist authoritarian organization that kind of wanted to make America great again. That doesn't sound familiar at all. Anyways, and so the season, last season was pretty much trying to uncover the massive plot that caused Kirkman to be the designated survivor. And this season, it's kind of going forward with the presidency, although trying to understand why this happened the way it did. And things have been pretty interesting. It seems there's been going to be a little bit more international intrigue this time instead of last season. Last season focused more on domestic issues, the domestic side of figuring out how to be president. Now it's largely international. Series has been pretty fast-paced, pretty interesting. It's kind of going with the idealized presidency that the West Wing was under Aaron Sorkin. But I feel it's kind of taking on the current political climate, which is good. It's adaptive in its nature. It's looking at how American politics are now and trying to put it into that lens of the idealized presidency that Aaron Sorkin created for the West Wing. And I really enjoy it. My dad also watches it. He enjoyed the West Wing, and I'm pretty sure he's enjoying this series. And it's interesting to see Kiefer Sutherland in a more intellectual role as opposed to a more actiony role that I'm more used to seeing him in. Most of the things I've seen him in, he's either been a special agent or a soldier or a Marine, or in one case a racist Klan member. But now seeing him as an academic, that's really interesting, I think, because it's not a role I would have anticipated him taking on. The other cast is great. The interplay of the various members of the White House staff, very interesting. Cal Penn is also part of the cast. And what's interesting is he's the only one on cast who's ever actually been in a presidential administration. He worked for President Obama. And I kind of feel like a little different. This I kind of think that this is a little different than other TV presidents. TV presidents in the past kind of go with the, and I'm going to show my political bias here, the establishment bias, the way of doing things, with a little bit more consensus taking, a little bit more compromising towards the opposite, although all TV presidents of note have been Democrats, so going a little bit farther right. But this one, he's a registered independent, and on top of that, he's working a lot harder to maintain a more progressive stance going forward. Granted, in creating a government, he did have to compromise a bit. One thing of note was the Supreme Court, when it got held up by a Montana senator who I have a feeling was modeled off of Ted Cruz. He's a conniving little bastard. But yeah, that was last season, and this season, it, like I said, is focusing on a more international scale. Where, however, I have a feeling that the cause of the problem last season isn't actually dead, because in the first couple of episodes he was a big problem, and then he was seemingly killed by an FBI drone strike. I am skeptical because another member of his organization got out of something, seemingly survived being executed, but I highly doubt that this guy is still alive, or this guy is not still alive. So yeah, I'm excited for the season premiere, which is this week. I'm actually pre-recording this a week earlier this week so I don't have to rush on Thursday, because that's when I have class. So yeah, this is Joshua with New Review signing off.